guys, welcome to Beyond Bricks. I am your host, Kevin Stewart. And today I get to talk about one of my favorite subjects on the planet, one of my favorite things in the entire world, one of the things that drives me, that impacts me, that moves me. I'm going to talk about music. I'm going to talk about the music of life, the rhythm that is the music of life, because music is something that deeply impacts me. I saw this great photo. It was actually a big steel guitar pick. I regret not buying it. One of these days, maybe I'll find it on the internet again. But it was this steel guitar pick, and it said on it a statement that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. Ever will I forget this. And it hit me. It hit me like a giant sack of sand right to the chest, right? It said, "Music is what feelings sound like." Music is what feelings sound like. It's something that I had never heard put into those words before, but I went, oh, shot me backwards, because I was like, yes, that's it. Music is what my feelings sound like. It's the soundtrack of my life. And the impact that music has had on me, I can't describe, but today I'm going to try. Today, I'm going to do the best I can to share with you guys and describe to you guys the ways and the reasons and hows that music has impacted my life. I'm going to do the best I can to break it down, because music, I believe, is important. I believe music is so important to the world. I'm someone that always has it. I'm surrounded by it constantly. Whether I'm at home in my home office, when we moved into this current space we're in, one of the first things I did is I put in a good set of speakers and a good Sonos system. The house that we currently live in, I invested immediately into having sound in every single room of the house. I invested into a pretty awesome sound system in the backyard, because I wanted to sit in my backyard by the fire pit and listen and feel music. It's important to me. I have music in my ears almost constantly. Every time I'm in my car, anywhere I'm around, you may hear me jump out in a random song. Why? I don't know. It's the way my brain works. It's the joy that I have in my life. So much of it comes from music. I love it. It's my DNA. Music is literally in my DNA. So most people don't know this, but I think a lot of that comes actually from my mom. My family sings. We always have. We have a very special tradition in my house. It's awesome. So all growing up, we've always prayed together before meals. That's always been common. But we don't pray anymore. We sing. We sing before the meal. And anyone that's come to a major meal with my extended family has heard this, and they will join. And it's very quick, but it's a prayer. But it's a prayer in song. And it's my favorite part of mealtime with my family. Guys, I love it. I absolutely love it. But it's in my DNA. From my grandpa Jesse, my grandfather Jesse, I'm going to talk about him later in the episode. He always had an instrument in his hand. Always. I told the story on this podcast before of the impact that he had in my life and the stamp that he put on me. And he did it while he was building instruments. I'm going to talk about him a little more. But my mother, she sang. She was in a singing group when she was in college. That was very impactful for her. So I grew up listening to my mother sing. I grew up listening to my sister sing. I have an older sister, Beth. I still believe she's my favorite voice on the planet. I could listen to my sister sing all day. She has a gorgeous voice. Gosh, I wish she would sing more. But she always sang. I was so proud growing up, listening to my sister sing in all the vocal performance groups she was in and all the things that she did. I was so proud, and I would brag on my sister. Like, wait till you hear her sing. Whew, she's great. And she still is. But it's in my DNA. It's what we do. It's how the Stewarts live our lives. We live it in song. We're surrounded by music constantly. So what is it? What is it that gets me about music? Why? What's the why behind that? So I wrote down some things, and I wrote down some notes and some things and stories I'm going to share with you that I believe define into the guts of why music has such an impact on me. The first one is it was imprinted on me as a child. I think that music, if you bring your child up with music, they even talk about singing and playing songs for your child while they're in the womb and the positive impact that can create. But music is imprinted. It was imprinted on me as a child. The way in which I memorize things, when I memorized the books of the Bible or when I would memorize things in school, I remember my dad always telling me, he goes, how can you not remember whatever it was, A, B, C, and D? All these things that I was trying to learn for school and learn for tests. He goes, you can rattle off song lyrics like crazy, but you can't memorize these things. And so what would he do? Him and my mom would make up songs so I could memorize things so I could get good grades on my tests because my brain just thought in music. So if it was to a tune, all of a sudden I could remember it. It was imprinted on me as a child. When I grew up, a cappella music was imprinted on me. Still to this day, I absolutely adore a cappella music. The church that I grew up in, we sang a cappella. We didn't have instruments. That's not the way I grew up. Now I love and appreciate now massively instruments, but there's something so special to me still about a cappella music and a great group that can come forward and sing vocally. Gosh, I love it. I still to this day, it gives me energy to hear. I grew up listening to a group called A Cappella and AVB. These were Christian groups that I grew up listening to. From there, it shifted. I went into a lot of Christian rock bands. I enjoyed them. Groups like DC Talk and Jars of Clay. These are groups that had massive impacts on me as a teenager. They helped develop who I was. They helped develop the things that I thought and the things that I believed and the core basics of who I am, but they did it through song. From there, I go into college and I got really, and still my favorite band of all time, Dave Matthews Band. Absolutely love the musicality of that band, the complexity, hearing the instrumentation and feeling the way in which that they put songs together. And then the depth of the lyrics that they bring to the table. Now, I believe maybe the best lyricist of all time is Marcus Mumford. Marcus Mumford has had a huge impact on my life now as an adult. And yes, it's the instrumentation, but it's the words. That man's a poet to song. And it's so impactful for me. But it was imprinted on me as a child. It's something that I heard when I was very young, and it's carried with me forever. Second thing I wrote down, music is my therapy. Music is, to me, everything that therapy should be. I can go onto my phone right now. I could go grab my phone and I could pull up a song for just about any mood that I have. If I'm frustrated and angry, I got a song for that. If I'm sad and I'm feeling emotional, got plenty of songs for that. If I'm feeling happy and excited, I got a whole playlist for that. You hear me talk about Nico Moon all the time. Nico Moon has had a huge impact on me because of the positivity he brings through song. I can't help but hear a Nico Moon song and just want to get up and laugh and be happy and smile. He's so inspirational. He's creating a positive impact that's so special to this world, and he's doing it through song. Gosh, I love it. But it's my therapy. It connects me to the exact emotion that I need to feel at that time. Because I need to feel emotions. I'm an emotional person. I'm not going to hide from that. I get it from my father. My father's an emotional man. I love it about him. He's not scared to show emotion. And I get that from him. But I need to find ways to feel emotion along the way. You've seen me share plenty of emotion on this podcast. It's not abnormal. In fact, in one of these stories later, you're probably going to see it. But I need to feel emotions. So when I need to feel emotions, what do? I pick up my phone. I pick up Apple Music or Pandora, and I find songs that have an impact on me. I can slide through a playlist and feel any emotion that I need to get out of me that day. The third thing and the reason that I love music, it's the soundtrack of my memories. Music is the soundtrack of the memories that I keep in my head. I can still go back and hear certain songs that will take me back to extremely specific moments and conversations and times all the way back to when I was a child, through my teenage years, through my high school, through college, through my adult life, that will take me back to extremely specific moments because that song impacted me at that time. It can take me back to relationships, to personal connection, to people that I love dearly. I have songs that will connect me to friends like Andy Robinson for my whole life. Dave Matthews, I will still hear Xander Waits singing along with me to the top of our lungs at concerts. Still, I hear a David Grohl song with Foo Fighters. I will always think of the concert I went to with Andy Robinson. There's so many things that connect me to these relationships that had and have had a massive impact on my life because it's the soundtrack of my memories. They can take me right back to that moment, and I can feel those exact same emotions that I had, that love, that joy, that friendship and connection that I had. It takes me right back there instantaneously. Gosh, I love that. How awesome is having something in your life that can take you back to the good times at any moment? Fourth thing, it's an emotional language. I talked already about how the therapy is, I need to feel my emotions. Music is an emotional language, and it's not just the lyrics. Lyrics are super important to me. I love hearing and feeling and understanding lyrics and the impact that those words have on my life. But there's something to just the music. So I'm going to share a story I've never shared with anybody. The last day I had with my dog, Winston. Ooh. I love that dog dearly. I always will. He had such an impact on me. He was my first child. And the last day I had with him, he was in the car with me and I'm on my way to the office. And I knew it was my last day. Ooh. And a song came on. It was just music. And it was called How I Got Home. And I sat there and felt it. I held on to Winston, told him I loved him, and listened to that song. Every time I hear that song now, I'll remember the love I had for that dog. And it was just music. It was just sound. But there was something about it. There was something about it that felt like him. It felt like the joy that he brought to me. I could see it on him. He looked happy in that moment. And I got to share it with him. It was just me and him. I've never shared that story with anybody. But that's what music does to me. Music impacts me in a way that you can only feel. And in that moment, God brought me that song. It's how he got home. That's what music does. It's what feelings sound like. Music takes me back. The fifth thing, music brings me back to my center. It brings me back to who I need to be and who I want to be. I told the story on this podcast before about my grandfather and the impact he had on me and the instrumentation that he brought into my life, and the story about when I was struggling and I needed to change my atmosphere and change the things around me. And so what did I do? I went in my office that was disheveled and I started putting things away. I put them in their place. I put up great memories. I put up great things. But what did I start doing? I sorted my grandfather's record collection. And I started pulling it out and I started listening to it. And I started listening to the records and the songs and the things that impacted his life. And it brought me back to the legacy statements that he imprinted on my heart, which is that I was going to change the world and I could do it. It brought me back to my center. That music and that time and those records and those songs changed my life forever. They put me on the track that I am today. There's no way I land where I am right now if I didn't make that conscious decision and go through that exercise. And it's one I'm still going through. I still have hundreds and hundreds of records that I haven't even listened to yet. And one of my favorite activities on the weekend is going into my office, doing things like writing podcasts and putting myself in a great space. And what do? I go over and I go on the shelf and I grab another record. I have them in order and I'm just working my way through it. Oh, what's this? Put it on and listen to it and feel it. And I can picture my grandfather and how much he loved it and the impact that that music had on him. And it makes me feel purpose. It brings me back to my center, connects me with exactly who I am and exactly who I want to be. Going through and listening to those records grounds me. It grounds me to where I'm supposed to be. The last thing that it does for me, and this is actually kind of, well, not recent, but this is within the last probably 5, 6, 7 years. I love to share music. One of my favorite things to do is to send photos of music that I'm listening to, of things that come up in the car, to friends of mine that know the song, and sharing with them, knowing that that song has an impact on them too. It's kind of like reels to me. Sending great reels that have an impact, that say things that I think people need to hear. I hear music the same way. I hear songs all the time that I go, man, this person needs to hear this right now. This person needs to feel this song. This person needs to know that this song exists. So it's a way that I share my stories. It's a way that I share my feelings. And it's a way that I can show people that I'm thinking of them along the way. Because people who know me know how much I love music. And I love the opportunity to share those things with them and give them a glimpse into what I'm feeling and listening to that day. Chris Stapleton has a great song called What Are You Listening To? I think about that one all the time. And it talks about, what are you listening to? Is it a sad song? Is it this? Is it that? Gosh, what a great song. And that song tells me and shows me and proves to me that it's important to share what you're listening to and to know what other people are listening to. Because if I knew what song was playing in your car on the way to work today, I bet you I can guess what kind of mood you're in. If I know what's someone is listening to, if it's happy, if it's sad, if it's this, it's that, I can probably read your emotions a little bit better because most people do the same thing I do. You can guess the mood I'm going to be in that day, same thing, by listening to what I was listening to on the way into the office or in the way to this appointment or that appointment. Did I need to pump myself up? Did I need to get myself excited? Did I need to laugh? Did I need to feel? You can go through and look at my playlist and go, whoa, I can watch Kevin's emotions ping pong all over the room just by that playlist. But I want to share that with people. I want to do that. Guys, music is the rhythm of my life. It is the impact and it's the soundtrack to everything that I want to be. Music is so special. I hope that you can find ways to listen and feel music the way I do. I wish music impacted everybody the way that I do, that it impacts me. And it may not for you, but gosh, I hope it does. I hope next time you listen to a great song, you allow it to soak in and you allow it to impact you in a good way. You allow it to bring you back to your center. You allow it to feel the emotions you need to feel. You allow it to be your therapy, to be your voice. I hope that it does that for you. Guys, as you're going through the week and as you're listening to the songs and you're listening to the soundtrack of your life, find a way for the music to soak in and then let it come back out. Let the things that you're doing and the person that you are and the person that you're meant to be show in this world. Guys, every single person out there is needed in this world. You are needed in this world. So go out and give freely. Have a good day, guys. Bye.